To avoid having background noise throughout this call, I ask that everyone please mute yourselves, and we are now ready to start the meeting. Good morning. We are on the record. Today is Tuesday, May 17th, 2022. The time is 11:02 a.m. Welcome to today's meeting of the New York City Business Integrity Commission. We are conducting this meeting via WebEx. This is a public meeting which was duly noticed for today's date at 11 o'clock a.m., along with the WebEx information and dial-in information for the meeting. This meeting is being recorded, and the recording and meeting minutes will be posted on BIC's website in a timely manner following the conclusion of this meeting. I am David Feldman, Deputy Commissioner of Legal Affairs and General Counsel for the Commission. I am joined by the following Commission members: Elizabeth Crotty, Commissioner and Chair of the Business Integrity Commission; Department of Investigation Commissioner Jocelyn Strauber; Department of Consumer and Worker Protection Commissioner Vilda Vera Mayuga; Department of Sanitation Deputy Commissioner Gregory Anderson, representing DSNY Commissioner Jessica Tisch; Department of Small Business Services Deputy Commissioner Andrew Schwartz, representing SBS Commissioner Kevin Kim; and Inspector Matthew Hyland of the New York City Police Department, representing Police Commissioner Keechant Sewell. Thank you for being here today. Today, the Commission will consider two matters. The first matter is a proposed rule amendment concerning the maximum rates that a trade waste removal business may charge for the collection, removal, disposal, or recycling of trade waste. The second matter is a proposed denial recommendation by the Commission staff in connection with the registration application. Before I turn to these two matters, I would like to acknowledge that this is the first Commission meeting for a number of the Commissioners present today, including Commissioner and Chair Crotty, who would like to say a few words.
I just want to thank everyone for getting on, the commissioners and designees alike. I look forward to meeting you all in person and to continue our working relationship that has preceded most of us here and some of us here to working together for the city of New York. So thanks so much, and I'll turn it back to Dave Feldman.
Thank you, Commissioner Crotty. The Commission will now consider the proposed rule. The proposed rule is an amendment to Section 502 of Title 17, Chapter 1, Subchapter E of the Rules of the City of New York, relating to the maximum rates allowed for the collection, removal, disposal, or recycling of trade waste. The rule amendment increases the current maximum rates that trade waste haulers can charge by 9%. This increase recognizes the fact that operating costs have risen significantly for trade waste haulers since the last rate cap increase, while also recognizing the difficult economic situation for many businesses in New York City, particularly small businesses. The increase would result in maximum rates of $22.63 per cubic yard and $14.85 per 100 pounds. On April 28, 2022, the Commission held a public hearing on the proposed rule amendment. The Commission considered all comments received on the proposed rule amendment. Do any of the Commissioners have any questions or comments regarding the proposed rule amendment? The Commission will now vote as to whether to adopt the proposed rule amendment. A vote of yes is a vote to adopt the rule amendment. A vote of no is a vote not to adopt the rule amendment. If the Commission votes yes.
I actually do have a question.
Yes.
Sorry, I was unmuting myself. Obviously this is my first meeting, so forgive me if I'm asking something that's obvious, but I reviewed some of the statements at the hearing and some of the questions raised by members of the industry with respect to the price increases that they've seen over the past 4 years relative to the increase proposed here. And I would just like to better understand if you wouldn't mind explaining a little bit about the basis for the 9% as opposed to, let's say, the higher amounts that were being proposed in some of the hearing comments.
Certainly. Thank you, Commissioner Strauber. Yeah, as described at our CAPA hearing, the Commission takes a number of factors into account when establishing The rate cap, those factors are set out in section 502G of Title 17 of our rules. They do include, as you pointed out, the producer price index that relates to the solid waste industry, and the other costs that a number of industry representatives brought up. It also requires 502 also requires that the commission consider any relevant factor affecting the trade waste business, trade waste industry or its customers. And the commission is to assess a fair and reasonable return to licensees and the protection of those using the services of such licensees from excessive or unreasonable charges. So taking those factors together, taking all of the comments that were received, all of the testimony from the CAPI hearing and the other factors, it was determined that the 9% increase was appropriate at this time. I would also point out that although the BIC is required to hold a rate cap hearing every odd numbered year before October, that is not a limitation on the number of increases that can occur, nor is it a requirement that an increase occur after such a hearing. And in fact, there was not an increase after the 2019 rate cap hearing. So if there are compelling reasons to revisit the increase that we're voting on today, that is something that either industry representatives on the one hand can bring to BIC's attention, or customers on the other hand can also bring to BIC's attention, and we evaluate it on an ongoing basis.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner Strawber. Are there any other questions or comments regarding the proposed rule amendment? Okay, the commission will now vote as to whether to adopt the proposed rule amendment. A vote of yes is a vote to adopt the rule amendment. A vote of no is a vote not to adopt the rule amendment. If the commission votes yes to adopt the rule amendment, the final rules will be published and will go into effect 30 days after publication. Is there a motion from the commissioners to adopt the proposed rule amendment?
So moved.
And is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. I will now be calling on each commissioner and designee to collect votes. Commissioner Crotty,
Yes.
Commissioner Strawber. I'm sorry, I couldn't hear that.
Yes. Sorry.
Thank you.
Mute button again.
Thank you. Commissioner Mayuga,
Yes.
Deputy Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Deputy Commissioner Schwartz,
Yes.
Inspector Highland.
Yes.
Okay, let the record reflect that the vote is unanimous. The commission will now consider an application which the commission staff has recommended be denied. Zumba's Builders, Inc. submitted an original application for an exemption from the commission's trade waste licensing requirement to operate as a trade waste business solely engaged in the removal of waste materials resulting from building, demolition, construction, alteration, and excavation, also known as a Class II registration. The applicant was served with a notice of the grounds to recommend the denial of its application. The applicant was advised that it had 10 business days to submit a sworn written response to the commission. The commission did not receive a response from the applicant. On May 11th, 2022, we emailed the commission members the recommended denial decision regarding the application at issue. There have been no material changes made to the recommended denial decision since then. The staff attorney in charge of the denial recommendation is Executive Agency Counsel Spiros Moustakis. The commission's staff has recommended denial of the application of Zumba's Builders, Inc. based on the following grounds as fully set forth in the staff's recommendation. 1, Maria Zumba, a principal of the applicant, failed to provide sworn testimony to the commission when directed to do so. 2, Andres Gonzalez is an undisclosed principal of the applicant. 3, the applicant's predecessor company and Andres Gonzalez were recently convicted of crimes relating to larceny. 4, the applicant has repeatedly engaged in unregistered trade waste removal activity. And 5, the applicant failed to pay civil penalties for which judgments have been entered. Do any of the commissioners or designees have any questions or comments regarding this application? The commission will now consider the recommended denial. The commission members will vote as to whether or not to adopt the staff's recommendation to deny the application. A vote of yes is a vote to adopt the staff's denial recommendation. A vote of no is a vote not to adopt the recommendation. Is there a motion from the commissioners or designees to adopt the staff's recommendation?
So moved.
Thank you. And is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. I will be calling on each commissioner and designee to collect votes. Commissioner Crotty? I think you might be on mute, Commissioner.
Yes.
Thank you. Commissioner Strawber?
Yes.
Commissioner Mayuga?
Yes.
Deputy Commissioner Anderson?
Yes.
Deputy Commissioner Schwartz?
Yes.
And Inspector Highland?
Yes.
Let the record reflect that the vote is unanimous. That concludes the matters before the commission. The denial decision will note each commissioner and designee's vote today. Thank you to the commission members for their participation and to the members of the commission staff for their hard work on these matters. Thank you also to any members of the public who attended this meeting today. We are off the record at 11:14 a.m. Thank you. Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.